Gray Grunts are just 1 kill away from being victorious, and they've done it. They have claimed a victory over Pink Lightning. And the Gray Grunts have managed to reclaim their spot in this tournament, showing that they were indeed worthy of a second chance. They will be facing off against the Melon Maniacs to try taking a spot in the semi-final rounds. But before they're allowed to do so, we have to finish up the opening rounds. We have Purple Thunder fighting against the Leap and Lime units, and they will be facing each other in Frost River Valley. Let's gather the units together and let them do battle. Alright, we have round 7 all set up. Purple Thunder stationed with elite units inside the arena with their brick cores rendering them immobile, while the rest of the units are prepared to charge out and do massive range damage with their immense lightning attacks. Facing off against the Leaping Lime, who have impressive healing capabilities, as almost all their units are equipped with watermelon slices that will regenerate their health, and brown mushrooms to heal themselves individually. It is a war of attrition between impressive range capabilities versus impressive healing capabilities. Who will win? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin! Purple Thunder making its way slowly out of the gate, getting across the first frozen river, and they have seen the Leaping Lime and are prepared to do battle with them. Lightning attacks being unleashed upon the Leaping Lime. I see a couple rabbits were slain in that initial lightning strike attack. And a Leaping Lime member has gone down. Couldn't heal fast enough, it seems. Let's get into an aerial view as most of them is happening behind a pillar. Purple Thunder has managed to take a few losses so far. Leaping Lime taking even more, losing several of their bouncing mounts. Thunder is filling the valley of Frost River. It's almost difficult for me to think with all the thunder going on. So far, the fighting is taking place mainly on the Leaping Lime side, keeping the elite units of Purple Thunder out of combat. This could work to their advantage if it gets down to the point where the main units no longer have lightning capabilities. Purple Thunder have done massive amounts of damage to the Leaping Lime's mounted units, knocking a huge amount of them out of the fight. But the combat is staying fairly close overall. Leaping Lime is managing to hang in there, keeping themselves healed up. Purple Thunder is just doing everything they can, trying to get past that healing prowess. With only a few more units left on the Leaping Lime side, this looks like it is going to go towards the Purple Thunder's victory. Purple Thunder's ranged elite units still are not getting involved in the fight. The fight is taking place almost entirely upon the Leaping Lime side. It seems that Purple Thunder's main units are just too powerful for most teams to be able to face against. They have done this before, where their elite units have not even gotten into the fight at all. And with the sound of thunder dying out, it seems that the main Purple Thunder units have exhausted their lightning attacks. All that's left is a couple more Leaping Lime units that do not look like are going to be fighting back anytime soon. They are equipped with melon slices, and that makes it so that they will not fight back when attacked. They will use their healing capabilities as long as they can, and once they are out of that, only then do they fight. And the last Leaping Lime unit is just trying as hard as he can to stay alive, but it's not going to work out well for him. And his armor has shattered. He has got no more brown mushroom, it seems. And there goes an attack from one of the elites. And he is now dead. Purple Thunder has nothing to do but run around, pick up melon slices, and just chase each other around, healing and even killing, it seems, their own teammates. Well, that is it. Leaping Lime, they just could not handle the combat anymore. Their healing prowess has been eliminated. Purple Thunder moves on to the quarterfinals. Purple Thunder has moved on to the quarterfinal rounds. We are down to the final round in the opening rounds of the Clay Soldier Battle Tournament. Frost Valkyries versus the Pumpkin Pounders. For those who remember, the Frost Valkyries took on the Blue Shells in the elimination matches. Then the Blue Shells just were not able to do any damage to the Frost Valkyries due to the fact that they had no range attack whatsoever. The Pumpkin Pounders, while most of their units do not have any range attacks, their elite units do have lightning capabilities. This could tip the battle in favor of their units. And let's check out where they will be doing battle. They will be doing battle at Salvation Island. Will the Frost Valkyries be able to glide across the ocean to victory, or will the ranged lightning attack of the Pumpkin Pounder elite dismount them and send them to a watery grave? Let's find out. Alright, time for the final round of the opening battles to commence. Pumpkin Pounders on the left, Frost Valkyries on the right. Will the Pumpkin Pounders be able to dismount the Frost Valkyries and take victory for themselves, or is the Frost Valkyries' air superiority going to win them this fight? 3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin. Alright, the Pumpkin Pounders are making their way into the water, losing their mounts in the process. Frost Valkyries are fluttering across the top of the water, not touching the water at all, keeping on top of their mounts. That's giving them a pretty good advantage on top of their height advantage. Their height advantage does work against them, however, as they cannot really get into melee contact. Pumpkin Pounders have lightning bolts, knocking some of the Frost Valkyries off their mounts, doing some range damage. That's better than the Blue Shells did against them in the first round. So far, no losses on either side. None that I can remember anyway. Oh, we are seeing some soldiers being killed on the Pumpkin Pounder side, and some of the Frost Valkyries have been killed as well. I see a few mounts floating around in the water there. Looks like the Frost Valkyries will end up getting dismounted if they come into contact with the water. So far, not a huge amount of action in this fight. I do see, however, that a Pumpkin Pounder has managed to take over one of the Frost Valkyries' mounts, and it is an elite. They have lightning. That's going to be a pretty good advantage for that elite. They will be able to fly around and rain lightning down upon any Frost Valkyries that manage to fall into the water themselves. But this is, again, turning out very much like last time. Frost Valkyries and the Pumpkin Pounders are not doing a huge amount of damage to each other. That's what the fighting that is going on is pretty good. We are seeing one of the Pumpkin Pounder elites flying around on a Valkyrie's mount, doing some damage to the Valkyrie, managing to knock it off and into the water. Who knows how many more charges that one Pumpkin Pounder has in his lightning fist, though. It's probably not going to be enough to actually claim victory. Overall, I think it's the Frost Valkyries who have taken the most losses so far this round. They are down 20 units. Actually, Pumpkin Pounders have taken a couple more losses than the Frost Valkyries. They are down around 24 now, if I'm remembering the starting numbers correct. Frost Valkyries only down 21. And as this fight is dragging on a little longer, it's looking like the Frost Valkyries are managing to stay ahead of the game, keeping most of their damage being done to them to a minimum. We're going to be starting the timer in just a moment here. And with only 30 seconds left to go, starting now, we will see if the Pumpkin Powers manage to kill enough Frost Valkyrie units for them to be declared victorious, or if the Frost Valkyries are going to maintain their lead. Pumpkin Pounders are down 32 units now, Frost Valkyries down only 24. With 6 seconds to go, it's looking like the Frost Valkyries will win once again. And time is up. The Pumpkin Pounders are down to 22 units. The Frost Valkyries are down to 11. That comes to a total of 34 units killed on the Pumpkin Pounder side, and only a mere 25 on the Frost Valkyries, if I am remembering this number correctly. That means Frost Valkyries are the technical winners. Pumpkin Pounders may have more units at the end, but they did not get enough kills to be the victorious ones. That's it then. This final round is over. We are now going to move on to the quarterfinals, with Frost Valkyries being the last entrant into them.